wabarakatuh. Good morning. Her Excellency, the Coordinator of English Language Education Study Program of Lambung Mangkurat University, Dr. Nur Eka Chandra MPD. Her Excellency, Special Staff to the Minister of Education, Tania Anggelina, PhD. Honorable President of English Student Association, Mr. Hariz Syihab. Honorable All Lecturer of English Language Education Study Program of Lambung Mangkurat University. Honorable all participants of this seminar. First of all, let's say thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us some mercy and blessing, so we can attend this agenda without any troubles and obstacles. Secondly, salawat and salam may always given to our Prophet Muhammad SAW, who has guided us from the darkness and the lightness. I am Risa Juliana, will be your master of ceremony this morning. Welcome to National Education Seminar 4.0, entitled The Impact of Coronavirus Outbreak Towards Teaching and Learning Activities in Indonesia. We would like to thank everyone here making time to attend this opening ceremony and this remarkable seminar. To start opening ceremony this morning, allow me to read today's agendas. The first is opening, the second is speech, the third is praise, the fourth is presentation, the last is closing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's open this ceremony by reciting Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite President of English Student Association, Mr. Hariz Syihab, to come to the stage to deliver his commencement speech. The floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the National Education Seminar 4.0 here in Rector Hall building. Please allow me to give my warm thanks to each of you for joining us this morning, and welcome to all the representatives and participants from Student Lambung Mangkurat University, and give my warm hearty congratulations to the opening of this seminar. I will share a few thoughts about why we are gathered this morning and then move on to the main part of our program. This year, one of the most contagious communicable diseases in the world is COVID-19. Coronavirus disease or COVID-19 is a new type of virus that has never been identified before in humans. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic provides a valuable experience. How the role of schools that have been central to education seems meaningless. Educational programs conducted in school which were considered very important because they affect the quality of education now seem to be meaningless. The government cancelled the national examination or UN, the national standard school examination or USBN, banned activities that gathered large crowd, and other important programs that could be carried out in school. These activities are now replaced by activities that must be carried out online, although currently the government doesn't require all school programs to be carried out online because of the current situation in an emergency. However, I believe that online activities can now be an initial process of changing the paradigm of implementing PDM in education from preschool to tertiary education. Therefore, if a school does not want to be excluded from this change, then inevitably it must follow this change. Schools must start thinking about supporting facilities and infrastructure for online learning, training teachers to master online learning support technologies, and socializing to students and parents about change in learning methods to be implemented. One time it is possible that the magnificent building of schools, which were initially crowded with the hustle and bustle of the activities of teachers and students, are only memorized and become a quiet place that might change its functions because it is not used again for learning activities. Humans at the time did not need to learn to come to school, just stay at home, fly computers, laptops, or gadgets to carry out learning activities. The teacher needed to be a mentor and facilitator from a distance whose activities were the same as students, namely simply playing the device needed to support online learning. The current situation is a challenge for the world of education. At this stage, I would like to introduce the coordinator of English Language Education Study Program of Lambung Mangkurat University, Dr. Nur Eka Chandra, MPD, and Honorable Special Staff to the Minister of Education Tania Anggelina, PhD. And I sincerely hope that this seminar will succeed in every aspect. I wish everybody here a good health. Thank you.
Thank you for Mr. Hariz Syihab. The next agenda is prayer. We invite Mr. Hendra Diantara Prawira to lead the prayer. The floor is yours. Thank you for Mr. Hendra Diantara Prawira. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the opening ceremony. Now we proceed to the seminar agenda. The speaker in this seminar is Tania Anggelina, PhD. This agenda will be guided by Mr. M.Fahruraji as moderator. We invite all the distinguished speaker and the moderator to come to the stage, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to you all. Her Excellency, the Coordinator of English Language Education Study Program of Lambung Mangkurat University, Dr. Nur Eka Chandra, MPD, Honorable Special Staff to the Ministry of Education, Tania Anggelina, PhD, Respectable President of English Student Association, Mr. Hariz Syihab, the Honorable all lecturers of English Language Education Study Program of Lambung Mangkurat University, the Honorable all participants of this seminar. Ladies and gentlemen, I am M.Fahruraji, the moderator of today's seminar. I'm very pleased to see you here and welcome all of you to this seminar. This National Education Seminar 4.0 is conducted by English Language Education Study Program of Lambung Mangkurat University. So, the topic that we will discuss today is about the impact of coronavirus outbreak toward teaching and learning activities in Indonesia. First of all, may I briefly introduce to you all our speaker today. The speaker today is Tania Anggelina, PhD. She is a special staff of the Ministry of Education. She has received her bachelor's degree in educational program at Indonesia University, and then taken her master's degree at Stanford University. Then she got a scholarship to take PhD at Cambridge University. So please welcome to Mrs. Tania. So before we start our discussion today, I just want to tell you that after the speaker delivering her speech, there will be a question and answer session. So please prepare yourself if you have some question from now. For Mrs. Tania, the floor is yours.
Hello, good morning. My name is Tania Anggelina. You can call me Tania. And thank you so much for having me today in this seminar. So our topic today is about the impact of coronavirus outbreak toward the teaching and learning activities in Indonesia. So we already know that coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic has affected educational in worldwide, especially for our country, Indonesia, leading to the near total closure of schools, of university and college, and around 25 elementary school in children in Indonesia are now studying in under the threat of COVID-19. I think not only elementary school, but also and all of the students in various level in Indonesia under the threat of the COVID-19. And yeah, as carried out by many countries, our countries to prevent the transmission of coronavirus or to prevent the spread of coronavirus in school. So our Minister of the Education, which regulates the implementations of education during the emergency periods of the spread of coronavirus in the school environment. So, during the discussions in the framework at the National 2020 National Education Day, with the theme learning from the COVID-19. So, our Minister of Education discussed about the issue regarding the discussions system during the corona outbreak. So, whereby using an online learning system there is currently applied for students in Indonesia. Based on the situations and conditions, based on the situation and conditions makes the parents realize that how difficult to educate the children at home. So, but of course we all know that the teacher also realize that without their parents' role, the learning process at home is not completed. So, therefore, I wanna say here that collaborations between the parents and the teacher is needed to support the learning process is very important. I want to talk about the another problems that besides that I explained before. So we must know that together there is an uneven situation and condition education system in Indonesia because there are several regions that are lagging behind. There is need to be our government assistance for handling that problems that they have. So of course, because this pandemic, because of this coronavirus pandemic requires learning for, like I said before, of course, face-to-face learning process indeed is much more effective. But we all know that in this situation, we all know that situation and conditions, we can expect that. But as a teacher, as a students, as a society, as a government, we must expect that the system that we use today is more effective, or we can say that it's effective to use. So it will be optimized and creativity in online learning. And when there is a learning program from home that collaborates between the government and national TPRI, but still it's not optimal because we certainly don't can see from one's perspective only. But when we know that there are some areas that are left behind, that are not reached by the internet, there are also areas that only covered by electricity, or there are also family that don't have televisions. And I think this is problems inconceivable when we see in Jakarta, when we see in Banjarmasin, so see other areas that don't have any facilities to support them in these situations or condition to support them to a learning process for the children, for the students. So from the government have to think how to overcome these problems. Alright, basically in this situation and in this condition, it can certainly become a momentum for us to realize that ideals of the everyone is teacher. So with an online system, learning material should be quietly with the accessible to all people from various levels, like imagine children of farmers, children of pedicab drivers, or a busker, all can access the education from the teacher while they are connected with the internet access. So being online classroom because of this pandemic should be able to realize that the concept of that Merdeka Belajar, that this concept suggested by the government for us. So the concept of the learning with the democratic system learning. So the concept of the learning with the has been preserved by the government in the future is intended to see to pre the student thought about the process. So and the government is required to provide the public facilities that contain all the tools needed to access online education for the students in Indonesia. So we should ask the people of Indonesia, from the government, from the teacher, from the students, or from the societies, together in the safeguarding the stability of Indonesian education system, even though we currently use this online system. As I explained before, of course, such a situation, such as conditions, we don't want this this condition, right? So therefore, from this situation, from this condition, we can only look at from one perspective of the negative impact, right? So but think about how the system reduce, how be the access sorry. As I explained before, of course, as I explained before that of course such a situation, such a situation, we don't want together about the situation. Therefore, from the situations, we not only look at it from the one perspective of the negative impacts, but think about how this situation reduces the stability of our learning system in Indonesia. So in addition, we not only stimulate this online system learning, but it should be also to measurement tool for how we see, how we assess the plus and minus sides of the online learning that we use today, has been used today. So we must seize this momentum so that of course the victory is our hands, as educators, as students, as a general public or society. And of course there is cooperation with the government to maintaining the standard of the stability in our educations or in our teaching and learning system in Indonesia in this pandemic coronavirus.
Deep applause for Mrs. Tania. Well, thank you very much for interesting talk, Mrs. Tania. Now we are going to question and answer session, and here we already have two questions. So for the first question is, as we know that the inequality of education facilities in Indonesia can be very difficult for teacher in teaching, especially during this pandemic. So the question is, what can teachers do so that learning can continue? The second question is, what should be the attitude and role of parents for their children during the pandemic in terms of education? So for answering the question, for Mrs. Tania, the time is yours.
Questions, I would like to answer the first questions. Yeah, in these situations or conditions like this, it is indeed out of our habit to learn, use the online, but we can do nothing, but we have to done, because namely using the system that we use today is the online classroom. Of course, as a teacher, must be utilizing that available the facilities and the adjusting according to the situations and conditions of the learning process that is taking place. Yeah, I would like to answer the second questions. Yeah, like I said before, that on the situation, on the conditions, we apply that system, everyone is teacher. and the parents become teachers for their children at home. So the parents have important role for the children during the learning at home. So I can say this, the learning from home, there must be positive and negatives, but remember that ignore about the negative about that, but the most importantly that we have to learn from this situation is parents are very important in assisting their children learning, as well as a parent can supervise the use of the gadget, and as well as being able to accompany and supervise the children to complete some of the tasks given by their teacher given.
Well, great answer from Mrs. Tania. Okay. I think you are already satisfied with the answer. From the speaker, we know that amid the current condition, face-to-face learning is very difficult to do. Merdeka Belajar is the solution where in principle everyone is a teacher. Everyone can learn even if only from the house. And for people who find it difficult to get access, the government will try to provide it. And during this pandemic, many things can make us aware that there are not only negative impact but also beneficial impact. For example, with this pandemic, parents who are initially unaware of the children education, they would be realized because the importance of their role play is that because children's education will not run effectively if there is no collaboration between parents and also teachers. And the most important things that during this pandemic, education will be worse if we cannot measure and evaluate the extent to which online learning is going. And for that reason, we need cooperation between the government, educator, parents, and also children. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the session. Hopefully this discussion will be beneficial for you all. Thank you very much for your kind attention and active participation. I am M.Fahruraji as moderator for this session. Apologies to you all if I have some mistaken. Have a great day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Then I return to MC.
For the next agenda, we would like to invite President of English Student Association, Mr. Hariz Syihab, to come to the stage for concluding remarks. The floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, finally on behalf of the college, I would like to express my appreciation to all the participants for taking time out of your busy duties to attend the seminars. I would like to close my remarks and officially announce the end of the seminar, saying please hope the COVID-19 in pandemic will be over soon, and hopefully we are healthy always, and also hopefully we can take a lesson from the seminar.
Ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of today's agenda. Let us closing this seminar by reciting Hamdalah. Alhamdulillah. Those are agenda that we have presented today. From the first of my heart, I am Risa Juliana. I do apologize in presenting today. Thank you very much for your coming. See you for the next occasion.